What is going on, guys? My name is Zora. Welcome to another episode of Amorous. In the last episode, we talked to Xanath, and we're going to be continuing that dateline right now. So let's just jump into it and call Xanath. His status says that he's already at the local shooting range. I'll let him know that I'll meet him there. Okay. It was nearing the afternoon when I finally arrived at the shooting range. Traffic had been extra obnoxious for some reason. Hopefully Xanath wouldn't be too upset with me for being late. I peered around the building trying to scope him out. I mean, how hard could it be to find a guy his size? I decided to wait and see if Xanath would see me. I'd never been at a gun range before, so everything was pretty daunting. I wouldn't even know where to begin. As I waited, I watched the various other people shoot at the targets. Bang, bang, bang. Each shot rang out and made me shudder a bit. No wonder you were required to wear those muff things. It was hella loud in here. A few more moments passed before I felt like something knocked the wind out of me. I was nearly knocked off balance by a heavy pat on the back. I had a feeling I knew who it was. Fabulous Aura, you made it! In here I thought you were never going to show up. Hey, you okay? You don't look so hot. I wobbled wobbled a bit back and forth, my vision hazy for a brief moment. It took a couple seconds for me to snap back out of being slapped so hard on the back. Yeah, I'm good, just a bit of a dizzy spell. When I finally got a good look at the dragon, my eyes widened just a bit. I hadn't noticed just how ripped this guy was at the club. It must have been the lighting. I couldn't stop myself from eyeing him over a few times. The tank top he wore left little to the imagination. And then about it. I shook my head a bit and peered up at Xanath, offering a little smirk. You almost took my head off. Maybe a little warning next time? Sorry. I don't know my own strength sometimes. You alright? I couldn't help but chuckle at the situation, giving the large male a nod. Yeah, I'm fine. Takes a bit more than that to take me out. So what's the deal with the shooting range? Not my first idea for a place to hang out. Well, I like to come here to blow off steam, you know? Something about lettering a few rounds ago, and believe me, after last night, I could see Xanath get visibly upset as he remembered the events that went down the previous night. Hell, I couldn't blame him. After that shit, so I really need to blow off some steam. You didn't need to see that shit. Not the first time he's done that either. But I did see it, and I'm still here hanging out for you. It didn't bother me that much. In fact, it showed me how good of a person you are for being able to invite me out here in the first place. Well, damn, Fabulous Aura, thanks for that. It means a lot. Don't mention it, Xanath. It's the truth. After all, so are you going to show me how to do this, or... Sounds good to me, Fabulous Aura. Let's go. I followed Xanath over to one of the empty parts of the range. It looked like he had already been practicing before I got there. There was a pistol lying on the table near the box he would be shooting from, as well as 2 pairs of noise-reducing earmuffs. I couldn't help but notice the target he had been practicing on. There were multiple holes directly in the head of the target. Did he do that? Impressive. And also sort of scary. How did he get so talented with a gun? Alright, let me just finish here, then you can have a go, okay? Yeah? Don't forget to wear the protective gear. Alright, Xanath, show me what you've got. I watched as the large dragon snapped the earmuffs over his horns, picked up the pistol and aimed. He looked so professional standing there like that. Almost seemed like a different person than when I first met him. I quickly put on my own pair of noise-canceling earmuffs on. I saw him peer over to make sure I have done so. Before he went back to aiming, shots rang out. 1, 2, 3, 4. He placed the pistol down on the table and let the earmuffs settle around the neck after he took them off, admiring his handiwork on the target. All perfect headshots. I could see that big toothy grin creep across his features again. Holy shit. Phew, how'd you like that, eh? Bet you ain't seen shooting like that outside of the movies. That was, I mean, damn, 4 clean shots, all perfect headshots too. That's just, you're something else, Xanath. You're too damn cute for your own good, you know? Keep flattering me like that and I'll have to buy you lunch. Is that a promise? I gave a coy little smirk and put on the most innocent looking face I could muster. Hey, the free lunch wasn't going to buy itself. You'll just have to find out, won't you? But we'll talk about lunch later. I gotta ask you, you ever fired one of these before? Nah, I've never touched one. I wouldn't know the first thing about them either. Hey, don't sweat it. I'll show you how to use my pistol here. First things first, safety is the #1 priority. And there we stood. Xanaf showing me his ins and outs of how to use a firearm. He was very purposeful in each of his words. A proper teacher, if I had to guess. He must seriously love guns. Xanaf taught me the proper and safety protocols for the handgun I was about to use. He went over to reload, how to stand properly, and even some tips on how to aim. The best part about the whole situation was how close he was. The large male really got into showing me the proper posture, pressing his muscled chest to my back and to help me aim properly. I felt like melting against him right at that moment, but I contained myself for the time being. When he finally finished showing me what to do, he stepped away with a smirk. So, did you get all that? I don't gotta repeat myself, do I? If you go over it again, does that mean we get to cuddle up all close again? I mean, for the sake of showing you how to properly aim. Don't worry, I'm just fooling around with you. So is there anything else I need to know? Or do I just have at it? You should be good. Show me how it's done, Fabusaur. You got a real pro for a teacher, so I expect nothing but perfection. Okay. Space or mouse R to reload your gun.
Oh my god! Oh! Oh my fucking god! Oh no! Oh, no, get the camera!
Wow, there's actual gameplay to this game. That is, I think 75 headshots is good enough. I don't know. Hot damn, not bad, not bad. That's pretty impressive. But then again, you did have me teaching you. I snickered and blew the barrel of the gun like I saw in the movies. It felt pretty exhilarating being able to fire a pistol like that. I looked over at Xanaf. He had that silly toothy grin plastered on his face again, obviously impressed by his own compliment to himself. So, I've been asked, how did you get so good with that pistol anyways? Oh, well, a lot of practice, I guess. There was a visible shift in Xanaf's demeanor. He suddenly looked very sullen, like he'd just seen a ghost. He was definitely hiding something. Leave it be. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. We can forget it. I even asked and get back to having fun. Look, it's not like I don't trust you or nothing. It's just it's not something I want to talk about. Thanks for understanding. It's fine, Xanaf. We came out here to blow off steam, remember? Let's get back to it. I could definitely tell that something was wrong. The way Xanaf's attitude shifted so suddenly was not normal at all. For the time being, maybe it was best to leave it be. It didn't take long for him to compose himself again. Sorry, Fabusaur, don't know what came over me there. Must have been the adrenaline. Want to get back to it? A nod of my head in response. We were just getting ready to get back to firing off some more rounds before I heard a soft voice behind me. Xanaf, is that really you? I can't believe it. I haven't seen you in years. That soft voice belonged to someone I don't know. A young-looking deer suddenly approached the two of us. I could see Xanaf's eyes widen at his sight. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words seemed to come out. Hey, you must be a friend of Xanaf's. My name is Fabusaur. Pleasure to meet you. The pleasure's all mine, Fabusaur. My name is Jason, and yes, I would definitely consider Xanaf here a friend of mine. More than a friend, actually. More than a friend? Like, you must have known each other for a long time then. Besties? No, actually, we only briefly met in the hospital. Xanaf is more than a friend to me because he's a hero. A hero? What do you mean? Xanaf fidgeted a bit nervously as I spoke to Jason, but he didn't say anything. I cocked my head curiosity at the situation as I listened to the deer speak. Jason, well, Xanaf saved my life a few years ago. What? He saved your life? What happened, if you don't mind me asking? It was nothing really. I was just doing my job, you know? Don't listen to him, he's too modest, a big softy under all those muscles. A few years back, I got into a car accident, a serious one, a T-bone at an intersection. I'll spare you the details, but I was pinned underneath my car, bleeding out, my throat was crushed by a stray piece of metal from the car, and I was unconscious. I was silent as I listened to Jason. From time to time, I peered over at Xanaf. He was looking away as much as he could without being rude. I was in really bad shape. The ambulance didn't get to the scene until roughly 5 minutes later. I was told the car was on fire, and to be honest, I could have died there that night. However, the next thing I remember was waking up next to a handsome, polite officer in a hospital bed. I wasn't that handsome. I was shaking like a leaf. Hush you. See, Xanaf happened to be on patrol nearby when I got into my accident. I was unconscious at the time, but I was told that he tore into the car to pry me out before the fire could get to me. Xanaf, is that true? That's incredible. The large dragon continued to look away, though. I noticed a faint hint of blush crossing his the masculine features. It's all true. He performed CPR on me and made sure I got to the hospital in one piece. He sat at my bedside all night, even if he didn't realize I was awake. My throat was crushed and I didn't know if I'd ever be able to speak again, so I was never able to say thank you. You don't have to do that, Jason. I was just doing my job. Anyone would have done it. Jason didn't give the large dragon any time to react. In an instant, his arm wrapped around his tongue midsection at a warm embrace. Xanaf looked away again. He seemed uncomfortable. Maybe this was my chance to learn more about him. Encourage Xanaf. Xanaf looked over to me and our eyes caught on another. No words needed to be spoken. I simply smiled warmly and nodded my head to the large dragon. Almost immediately, Xanaf wrapped his arms around Jason, pulling him close. Jason peered up at Xanaf as tears rolled down his cheeks, enjoying the moment until he finally pulled away. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for saving my life. After Jason pulled away, Xanaf gave a brief smile before looking away and gritting his teeth. Something was definitely wrong, and Jason noticed it. He quickly clapped a hand over his mouth to sniffle a bit. Oh no, I'm sorry. I completely forgot about the accident. Hey, don't worry about it, okay? I'm just glad you're doing okay, Jason. No, I insist here. I watched as the deer reached into his backpack to pull out a large bouquet of white lilies. They seemed very fresh. I heard around town that you frequented the gun range, so I bought these and handed over, hoping to bump into you. I'm so sorry, Xanaf. He handed over the flowers, which Xanaf took somewhat reluctantly. He offered one last hug before bowing his head to leave. I'm so glad I was able to see you again, Xanaf. I don't want to interrupt your day out, though. It was nice meeting you as well, Fagosora. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Yeah, goodbye, Jason. Thanks for the flowers. As Jason left, Xanaf and I stood there for a moment. The silence was so thick you could cut it with a knife. It was Xanaf who broke it first. So, yes, there ain't no hiding it now, huh? Cat's out of the bag. Why would you hide that, though? You saved someone's life. That's amazing, Xanaf. Yeah, I've got my reasons. Just hurts to remember some things. Like how you used to be a cop? Was that before you were a bouncer at a club Amorous? Xanaf finally looked like he was calming down, a smile finally returning to his face. He got close to me and wrapped an arm around my shoulder, pulled me close before he spoke. Tell you what, Fagosora, it's been a long time since I've been able to spend some one-on-one time with someone like this. It's nice. I'm tired of hiding here at the shooting range, tired of taking up odd jobs here and there, to forget about shit. I'm tired of running. I want to do something normal for once. I want to do something nice, something relaxing. I peered up at Xanaf, dwarfed by his size. Despite that, I felt warm. I felt relaxed against him, protected upon hearing his words. My eyes perked up as I grinned. Picnic? Did I really just blurt that out? Picnic? Well, I'd better roll with it. You heard me, picnic. You want to do something nice? Let's have a picnic. Xanaf smiled down at me. The smile nearly made me melt against his cheeks. It didn't take long for him to burst into laughter, though. He squeezed me close to his body for a hug before letting me go, clapping me on the back with the large hand of his again. Almost knocked me out again. A picnic, that sounds fucking amazing. I could go for a picnic with you, Fagosora, and since you're so curious about me, we can talk about whatever you want. You want to know about my past? I'll fill you in. You just want to ride home? I'm exhausted after all that. I nodded to him. Who am I to pass up a free ride? We chatted about nonsensical things the whole way home. I held off on the serious questions until our next date, so as not to spoil the mood. Wait, did I just say date? Was I falling for this guy? Oh, that was a roller coaster of emotions. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Amorous. If you did, make sure to leave a rating. That's very much appreciated. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.